the most serious environmental issues facing the world today is air pollution. The people of the entire planet is extremely at risk of developing health problems and dying before their time from constant exposure to it. We think that having knowledge of the situation at hand is the first step in solving it. Inspiring information on air pollution is provided below. The world's population breathes polluted air 91% of the time. The World Health Organization, WHO, asserts that at least 9 out of 10 people worldwide reside in areas with air pollution. The combustion of fossil fuels for energy production and the emissions from fossil fuel-powered cars both contribute to global air pollution. Due to their reliance on fossil fuels for energy production and high vehicle populations, wealthy and industrialized nations are a major contributor to global air pollution. About 68 million tons of air pollutants were released into the atmosphere in the U.S. alone in 2020, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Diseases related to air pollution cause at least 1 in 10 deaths. The world's biggest risk factor for chronic diseases and early mortality is air pollution, which is one of the most astounding facts about it. Nearly 9% of the world's population, or an estimated 5 million fatalities, were attributed to air pollution in 2017. Lung cancer, stroke, diabetes, and coronary and respiratory diseases are all made more likely by ongoing exposure to contaminated air. The effects of outdoor air pollution typically have the greatest negative effects in Southeast Asian nations. According to data from 2017, rich nations only contributed 2% of the deaths in the region that were caused by air pollution, highlighting the stark discrepancy between rich and developing nations. Smoking, HIV, and war are not greater threats to life expectancy than air pollution. Millions of people worldwide are practically losing years of their life due to air pollution. The Energy Policy Institute at the University of Chicago published a report in 2021 that found that people who live in India, which has the greatest levels of air pollution on Earth, lose an average of 5.9 years from their lives as a result of the terrible air. All of the top 5 most polluted countries are in Asia, but in Central and West Africa, where the average life expectancy has fallen by 2 to 5 years, air pollution is a rapidly growing threat to human health, outpacing well-known killers like HIV, AIDS, and malaria. The economic cost of air pollution is close to $3 trillion, or 3.3% of global GDP. The human and financial impacts of air pollution from fossil fuels were exposed in a report published in 2020 by Greenpeace Southeast Asia and the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. According to estimates, the cost of air pollution-related deaths is $2.9 trillion, and in 2018 it was the cause of 2 million preterm births, 4 million new cases of child asthma, which increased healthcare needs and took time away from work for guardians, and 1.8 billion days of missed work, which decreased participation rates in the labor force. The paper also states that premature births and sick leave cost the global economy $100 billion each and $200 billion, respectively, due to chronic diseases brought on by poor air quality. Low to middle income countries have the highest air pollution-related death rates. The fact that people in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia have a much higher risk of dying from outdoor air pollution than do people in Europe and North America, where the risk is 100 times higher, is one of the most disturbing facts concerning air pollution. Due to a reliance on solid fuels like wood, crop wastes, charcoal, and coal, as well as kerosene in open fires, lower-income countries also have greater indoor air pollution rates, which refers to the air quality within and around homes and structures. This cooking method is still employed by some 2.6 billion people worldwide, making them susceptible to ailments brought on by indoor air pollution. The risks of wildfires and air pollution are increased by climate change. As a result of climate change, extreme weather conditions and wildfires have increased in frequency and intensity. The likelihood of wildfires increases along with the lengthening of drought seasons and rising rates of deforestation to make room for agricultural growth. Large-scale wildfires emit airborne carbon emissions, smog, and other pollutants that can travel between nations and regions. A record-breaking heat wave and wildfires in the western U.S. and Canada in July 2021 covered cities on the East Coast, including New York, in smoke and dirty air. The same time that the smog in Siberia reached dangerously high levels, one of the largest wildfires occurred there, causing more than 280,000 locals to stay inside. India has 10 of the world's top 15 most polluted cities. With an average of 110.2 g/m3 of particulate matter 2.5 in the atmosphere, Bhutan in China tops the list of most polluted cities in the world, although 10 of the top 15 are in India. According to ACARE's 2020 World Air Quality Report, India's cities often have PM 2.5 levels that are 500% higher than WHO recommendations. This is brought on by the previously mentioned elements of vehicle emissions and the use of fossil fuels in cooking by lower-income families, in addition to the fumes from rubbish burning. Its National Clean Air Program, which seeks to cut air pollution levels by up to 30% by 2024, has helped the nation make significant strides, though. India will see its energy from renewable sources increase up to 50% by the end of 2030 as a result of Prime Minister Modi's promise to achieve net zero emission by 2070, considerably lowering carbon emissions and pollution. China's particulate pollution decreased by 29% in just 6 years. Despite the fact that China is the world's largest carbon emitter and the nation with the worst air quality, 2013 saw the highest pollution level ever recorded, where 1.25 million Chinese citizens lose their lives prematurely to air pollution every year. Studies have shown that the country has made significant progress in reducing air pollution thanks to strict policy action. Particulate pollution has decreased by 29% and fallen below 1990 levels in just 6 years. China has also made the largest investments in solar energy of any country, accounting for 45% of all worldwide solar investment. By 2024, China is predicted to produce twice as much electricity from solar as the US. However, as of right now, 53% of China's national norms and 98% of WHO guidelines are still exceeded in the country's urban areas. None of the top 100 cities in the world can comply with the updated WHO guidelines. One of the more recent statistics on air pollution is that in September 2021, the WHO issued new, stricter guidelines on the issue in response to new research that showed fine particulate matter to be more harmful than previously believed and that an estimated 8.7 million people a year die prematurely from breathing air from coal, oil, and gas burning. 20% of deaths worldwide are caused by this. The WHO's new permissible level for PM 2.5 has been cut in half, while the limit for nitrogen dioxide, NO2, which is primarily produced by diesel engines, has been reduced by 75%. No big city can reach it based on these new regulations, according to a Greenpeace analysis. According to the WHO, if everyone reduced their individual air pollution levels to fall under the new guidelines, approximately 80% of air pollution-related fatalities might be avoided. According to a recent study, air pollution is the worst type of pollution, killing millions of people annually. The Cost of Air Pollution, a report co-authored by the World Bank and the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, IHME, also emphasizes the financial cost of air pollution by demonstrating how lost labor income caused by premature deaths associated with air pollution costs the global economy hundreds of billions of dollars. This is all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos. Stay tuned with AWZ.